Good morning. I started working here at the North Carolina Temple in January this year, so it has been almost a year. Looking back, I thought, it's only been a year? It feels like several years have passed. Frankly speaking, it wasn't easy for me. New working and living environment, new tasks, new relationships. I am deeply thankful for Reverend Won-gong and everyone who generously understood my struggles and shared the burden with me. It's the end of the year, the season of letting go. Looking back on my practice this year, I thought about what I'd like to let go of the most. What I truly want to let go of is discrimination and attachment. As a Buddhist term, discrimination means dividing something and discriminating one against the other. For example, dividing right and wrong, great and small, high and low, clean and dirty, black and white, left and right, etc. And discriminating one against the other. Right thing is good, wrong thing is bad. Great in amount, money, etc. is good, small is bad. Clean is good, dirty is bad. Black is bad, white is good, or the other way around. Left is good, right is bad, or the other way around. I'm not saying these discriminations are bad. That would be another discrimination. What I'm saying is that when we are attached to these discriminations, we are not free, and we can create suffering for ourselves and for the world. Here is an example. One day, I was with a good friend of mine, but when I heard the friend talking behind someone's back, I immediately felt, that's wrong, I don't like it, I don't want to be part of this conversation. It was kind of like having a magnet in my mind and pushing away what I think is not right or bad. I realized that that's what discrimination and attachment do. When discrimination and attachment come into play in my mind, in other words, when I see someone and think, that's wrong, that's bad, I don't like it, at that very moment, I am creating a wall between the person and myself, pushing him or her away. And the person senses that immediately and finds it hurtful. That is separation. The same thing happens in our society as well. When I watch news, I find it painful to see how divided our society is. Many of you probably feel the same. Republicans and Democrats. For both sides, the other side is a group of people full of wrong ideas. They don't mix well. Each individual's discrimination and attachment, each individual's magnets pushing away the other, all this together has created our divided society. It's not just political views. The same phenomenon happens between different races, sexes, religions, and nations. The whole society is one body. We are inseparable from each other. We cannot escape from the influence of the other. But human history has been a series of divisions and conflicts. The key to ending the sufferings of the world lies in each individual's letting go of discrimination and attachment, the magnet, and not pushing away the other anymore, breaking down the walls between each other. I thought, if I cannot do it myself, then how could I tell others to do it together? And if we cannot do it together, then how could the suffering of the world ever end? I am so desperate to let go of my discrimination and attachment. How can I do that? How can we do that together? Going back to my example with my friend, at that moment, if I had used my original mind, the Ilwonsang mind, as the empty space that holds everything within, right and wrong, good and bad, defiled or pure, everything just as it is, I would have been able to hold my friend in my heart instead of rejecting her and pushing her away. Using our original mind, the Ilwonsang mind, would be like the magnetism or the power of the magnet being zero, neither rejecting nor grasping. The Ilwonsang is a circle. If there were a magnet at the center, pulling in some points and pushing away the other points, it wouldn't be a circle. But because it is empty of discrimination and attachment, empty of the pushing and pulling power, it can be a circle. Wouldn't this be true emptiness? You may wonder, then, is emptiness being dull without having any ideas about what's right and wrong? What I meant by true emptiness, the Ilwonsang mind, is not discriminating between right and wrong, good and bad, but at the same time, not allowing our wisdom, luminous awareness, to be covered or dimmed either. Think about heaven and earth and how the principle of cause and effect works. When we take good care of a tree, the tree grows well. When we put in very little effort, it won't grow well. It's not because heaven and earth think taking good care of a tree is good and putting in little effort is bad that we get the respective result. Heaven and earth doesn't discriminate, but heaven and earth still knows. Its luminous awareness is not covered or dimmed. We can use our minds like that of heaven and earth, without discriminating between right and wrong, but rather with our wisdom, luminous awareness, seeing all things clearly. When someone makes us think, that's so wrong, it's so annoying, and we are pushing the person away in our heart, right at the moment, the most important thing to do is to stop. When I didn't stop, I always found the thoughts that followed continuously validating my initial discrimination and attachment and making them stronger. The third Prime Dharma Master, Master Daesan, said, people in the world spend their lives saying that this is right and that is right. But that's not it. That's not it. And that's not it either. Not, but not either. It is one of the koans, an item of questioning from the founding master, Sotaesan. When my discrimination and attachment started creating a wall between someone and myself, I tried thinking of this koan. Not, but not either. My idea that I am right and the other person is wrong, that's not it. What the other person did or said, that is not it. But the both that is not it are not it either. The last negation is the negation of both the first and the second negation. That is not it, that is not it, and that is not it either. In that moment, I could see that all my discriminations were gone. I could see the magnet in my mind that had been pushing away the other person and attaching to the idea that I am right. That magnet was gone. That pushing and pulling power was gone. It was emptiness, just like the empty space that holds everything within, just as it is, without discrimination. It was when my discrimination and attachment were gone that I was able to see the whole picture of the other person. It was as if something that had been covering my eyes had disappeared. I could see the other person's Buddha nature, the limitless potential. I could see not only this one instance, but other moments when this person showed different aspects of herself. And most importantly, as to the person's original intention at that moment. I often find it difficult to see the original intentions behind what the person says or does, especially when they sound unkind. However, letting go of my discrimination and attachment certainly created a space in my mind to see what was really going on with the person at that moment. On the contrary, if I had not stopped my discrimination, I would still have been building a wall between the person and myself, attaching to my limited idea of what's right and what's wrong, and dismissing the person as a bad person. Not, but not either. Just like the empty space does not discriminate between right and wrong, good and bad, and holds everything within just as it is. When we all let go of discrimination and attachment and break down the walls in our hearts, wouldn't the divided world become one world again? Wouldn't the world, suffering from divisions and conflicts, be able to finally be free from the suffering? Looking back on this past year, although it wasn't easy for me, it truly was a great blessing to meet so many wonderful Dharma friends. One Dharma friend dedicates herself to temple work like a full-time reverend. And many of you share your time and expertise in so many areas, and through your contributions, make all of this possible, not to mention your dedication to your practice. It has been a great honor for me to meet this wonderful community, all of you. Letting go of 2021, I hope we look back on our practice together and continue to be a great support for each other as we are now. Thank you.